Something wicked has awakened. Nightmares plague our galaxy. Your past confronts you, Guardian. Put an end to it.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to another weekly commentary. We've been sticking with reviews the past few weeks, and boy, do we have a bit of a doozy one this time around. But anyways, before we jump in, I'd like to ask you all to hit that like button if you end up enjoying the video, and subscribe if you want more afterwards. But without further ado, I'm your host Slashbang, and this is the weekly commentary. So today, guys, we are going to be talking about Destiny's brand new expansion, Shadowkeep. As we all know, Destiny is free to play now, so I'm going to give you all the information you need to know about the stuff you actually pay for. Shadowkeep is the first edition of Bungie's new year of content for Destiny 2, this season being the base for a prolonged episodic campaign taking place throughout the coming 12 months. Whilst it is true that the game is now mostly free to play, there are still many activities and quests that are inaccessible without the expansion. Things like an all-new storyline, many new exotic quests, the new raid, Bungie's new and improved take on Nightfalls, various other endgame activities, and an all-new dungeon coming late in October. Now, with all this coming to the hefty price of 55 Australian dollars, many of you free-to-play consumers may beg the question, is it worth the purchase? Now, don't get me wrong, if you're in Australia, $55 is a fair bit to fork out over a game's expansion, leaving many Guardians needing more. Although this campaign is the setup for any Guardian's worst nightmare, in a good way, mind you, many may feel let down by its slow and repetitive approach to campaign missions. These missions are for the most part just a tutorial for the player to equip themselves with a better understanding of some of the expansion's endgame content. These missions will continue with a bit of monotonous gameplay in between each one, but this isn't so bad as it gives the player, a bit of a breather from the storyline. Having the moon there to explore is sure to fill any veteran Guardian with nostalgia. I remember my first time revisiting the moon and exploring all the classic craters and dark halls. It was definitely like I was reliving my experiences from Destiny 1 in the best way possible. Exploration is a key factor within this expansion, and many players who enjoy uncovering secrets, collecting hidden lore, and uncovering hidden loot, or just want to kill a boss, they'll undoubtedly enjoy exploring the lunar surface. The expansion's approach to storytelling is a testament to how far Bungie has come, but whilst highlighting Destiny's best, it also sheds light on the game's worst take on storytelling. Throughout each mission, you are filled with deep dialogue between the Guardian, Ghost, and various other characters. These dialogues do a great job at establishing emotion and connection with each character, highlighting the severity of the events taking place, whilst creating an ambiance of suspense and at times fear. The writing, accompanied by the game's score throughout the missions, is sure to blow the player away at times. Unfortunately though, this writing isn't consistently well placed throughout the entirety of the campaign. The player will at times have to stand still, listening to a character talk for what seems far too long, or risk missing out on important/interesting information. The writing within each missions and cutscenes may be astounding, however this shows that Bungie is still struggling with finding the perfect cocktail of storytelling within Destiny's universe. Shadowkeep's campaign is a mixed bag of amazing, nostalgic, suspenseful, and lacking, with the campaign coming to an abrupt and some may say confusing ending. Many players may find themselves annoyed with the length given. It was roughly around a 2 to 4 hour completion for me. However, one must remember though that this storyline will be told episodically throughout the coming 12 months. So there is still more to come, and there is still definitely more to come this season as well. We're only halfway through it. Aside from the campaign, let's talk about everything else your money gets you. Upon purchase, the player will have full access to Shadowkeep's story, raid, and seasonal activities, as it comes with a season pass as well. They've changed how seasons work for Destiny by making it a pay-as-you-play style of monetization, where the seasons will happen and if you want to jump in, you pay a $15 entry fee that'll cover the remainder of the 3-month season. This new approach of a season pass is a great implementation to the game, and while not only being a great form of monetization by Bungie, it allows players to come and go as they please, rather than buy a whole year of content just on the spot. It even comes with its own battle pass, decked out with heaps of awesome cosmetics and useful materials. With that aside, let's get to the endgame activities. The raid, while buggy at times, is a beautifully designed activity taking place in the same location as the first game's final boss fight, the Black Garden. It's visually stunning, and I wish I could explore it further and further. Nevertheless though, the raid uses mechanics and elements which universally the player base has come to enjoy. The raid has multiple boss fights and multiple mechanic encounters, which is sure to please most of the raiding community. Personally, I've always hated how Destiny strayed away from boss encounters and instead focused on mechanics. So seeing Bungie go back to the Destiny 1 style of raids, it's a big plus in my book. Overall, I think the majority of the community see the new raid as one of the best ones in Destiny 2 as well, so it's not just my opinion. Another endgame activity given with Shadowkeep was Vex Offensive, a survival PvE activity which finds 6 players being sent again to the Black Garden to defeat numerous amounts of enemies and kill a final boss at the end. It's a fun and rewarding activity to grind as there is a mass amount of loot to be earned. It's easy with a competent team, so let's be honest, who doesn't love grinding to get that perfect roll on the loot you want? Shadowkeep also grants us Nightmare Hunts, which upon completion gives us a type of quest similar to weapon frames in the Black Armory. These are to be used to craft all new weapons and armor. Nightmare Hunts for the most part are just remastered shorter strikes from D1 to further fuel a veteran Guardian's nostalgia. I only wish these activities were more rewarding, as when you complete them once, you have no real reason to play it again. Unless you've hit that pinnacle grind and you're playing it on the max difficulty, these activities will more or less just fade and get forgotten. With all of that, the new dungeon to be released, the continuation of the Vex Invasion storyline, and many exotic questlines to players to find and grind for, this about sums up all the content you'll be paying for this season with your purchase of Shadowkeep. So to conclude this review, I'll just say that with Destiny now being free to play and seasonal content being accessible for mostly everyone now, Destiny is in an ideal state for newbies and veteran players alike. The player base is constantly growing, so even if you are new to the scene, you most definitely won't be the only one. The only negative I can see though is being a few weeks into Shadowkeep, I've noticed a little bit of a drought in content. Sure, there is still a lot there, but for those hardcore players who hit the pinnacle grind, they may find themselves getting bored of repeating the same content over and over and over again. However, have patience, for more is coming in the following weeks with the dungeon and this season's storyline quests as well. Don't forget the Halloween event though, the Festival of Lost is coming back in just a few days. With the expectations that more is on the way, I'm giving Shadowkeep a somewhat generous rating of 7.5 out of 10. I'm still playing it non-stop, almost a month in, so that's got to be saying something, right? Anyways guys, that's it for this review. I hope you all enjoyed it and found it informative. And if you've got a friend who's on the fence of whether or not they want to buy it, please be sure to send them this video and hopefully they can, make a decision that's right for them. Either way, that's all I had to say, so I'll see you in the next one. Baha!
Last life, this is it! Defeat comes for us all